evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, a National Guard unit based in Tullahoma has sent 3 helicopters to assist a flood relief in North Carolina. A report by the Tennessee Health Department reveals deaths from drug overdoses reached an all-time high last year. And John Gray will speak with the general manager of Manchester Coffee County Convention Center. We'll talk about Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell about his tenure as interim. Tullahoma City Administrator and Tullahoma High School head football coach John Olive will give us his thoughts on this week's game with Lincoln County. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Online credit applications. Hometown auto rental. Customer testimonials. Trade appraisals. Certified collision center. Service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
Don't stop believing, Tullahoma. Faithfully, Tullahoma Parks and Rec is excited to announce Journey Resurrection, a Journey tribute band that will perform free to the public Friday, September 21st from Fraser McEwen Park at 7 p.m. The wheel in the sky will keep on turning, so bring your chairs and blankets. Cold drinks and food will be on hand, and you can have it any way you want it. We'll see you there, rain or shine. Resurrection, a Journey tribute band in Tullahoma, presented by Michelob Ultra, Light 2, and 93.9 The Duck. Visit tullahomatn.gov for more info.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. 3 Black Hawk helicopters from the Tennessee National Guard's 1-230th Assault Helicopter Battalion arrived in North Carolina late Monday afternoon to assist in the relief efforts in the wake of Hurricane Florence. All 3 aircraft are equipped to conduct medical evacuation with rescue hoist capability, as well as transport medical patients and supplies to those in remote areas. Like Tennessee's military police support to South Carolina, North Carolina was able to request the specific capability through the Emergency Management Assistance compact process, whereby states can ask for help in time of crisis or other natural disasters. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency is the mitigating agency for such requests and works regularly with other state emergency management agencies to facilitate those cooperative agreements.
The 1-230th AHB is part of the 30th Troop Command based in Tullahoma. The 30th TC maintains 4 aircraft with hoist capability in East Tennessee for rescue missions when called upon in the Smoky Mountains. Last year alone, various crews of the 1-230th Assault Helicopter Battalion conducted 14 rescues in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. In the light of the deployment to North Carolina, 1 aircraft will remain on station in Tennessee for any other potential incidents.
The Tullahoma Wildcats, sporting a 4-1 record on the season, will take on Lincoln County this Friday night in Fayetteville. John Gray spoke with head coach John Olive about this week's opponent.
So, all right, Coach, what's in store for us next week?
We go to Fayetteville next week. We'll play Lincoln County, and they took it on the chin last night from Shelbyville. We took it on the chin from Shelbyville ourselves a little bit earlier. Coach Tim Johnson's the new head coach down there, and they've got a lot of new coaches on their staff. They surprised Columbia earlier this year and beat Columbia. You know, going to the pit, so it'll be a tough old night.
Oh, it always is.
And look forward to it, though. Been a long time since we've been 4-1, probably 2011 or so, 2010, that era. Just want, you know, I'm so proud of these seniors. When they were freshmen, which some of them got to play as freshmen, and definitely a lot more of them got to play when they were sophomores, we were taking it on the chin, and we were getting pushed around and bullied and so forth. Now we're getting after people pretty good, and the defense is giving us a chance to win. I'm just proud of them.
Yeah.
We've put a banner up in the weight room, I guess, last year, that the ones that would stay would be champions. And right now we're battling for that championship, so we're going to keep battling.
Well, we've got Maplewood, that's undefeated, right?
Yes.
Nolensville's undefeated in the region, and we're undefeated in the region.
Correct.
So that's the throwdown we've got over the next end of this season coming up here. Lawrenceburg we have to play, Giles County we have to play, which is not a regional game, and then of course next week at Lincoln County,
which is non-regional.
The Tennessee Department of Health says 1,776 Tennesseans died from drug overdoses last year. That's the highest annual number of such deaths since reporting began. Prescription opioids are still the most common drugs associated with the overdose deaths in the state. TDH data shows almost 3/4 of drug overdose deaths in Tennessee in 2017 were associated with opioids. There were 1,268 overdose deaths associated with the opioids. Of those, 644 were associated with prescription opioids for pain, which include drugs such as hydrocodone, oxycodone, morphine, and codeine. Prescription opioids for pain were associated with more overdose deaths in 2017 than any other group of drugs.
Deaths related to street drugs obtained without a prescription were a key driver of the increase in overdose deaths in Tennessee. There has been a dramatic increase in deaths related to fentanyl, which is similar to heroin but much more potent and dangerous. Heroin was associated with deaths of 311 Tennesseans last year, a 20% increase over the previous year. Fentanyl was associated with 500 deaths, a 70% increase since 2016. Fentanyl is an extremely potent opioid that may be obtained legally or illegally. Fentanyl is often used to cut or mix with other drugs, and users have no way to know if it is included in a drug obtained illegally. Substance abuse is a treatable and preventable disease. You can call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789 for immediate help for anyone suffering from a substance use disorder.
Stay with us. More News Leader is coming up after these messages.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. John Gray spoke with Rebecca French, General Manager of the Manchester Coffee County Convention Center, about funding issues for the facility.
Let's see. How old is the conference center?
It was built in 2001.
2001, so it's been there 17 years.
Correct.
17 years. And then it was built as an addition to the county, as a public facility to help bring activities to the county, right?
It was built for multiple of reasons. It was built to leverage, the Public Building Authority was enacted to leverage bonds for communities in Middle Tennessee region and beyond. So they could leverage bonds for infrastructure projects, schools, utility, water, any of that stuff to further develop another community. That's why the PBA was enacted, and part of their job was to build, and manage and oversee the operations day to day of the conference center.
Of the conference
And
center.
the conference center was built to generate economic impact, and it was also put there to support industry growth in Coffee County and to support business growth. So that's in their mission statement and their founding charter.
And now, from the very beginning, was the conference center built with anticipation of it making a big profit?
It depends on who you ask. The documents that were turned in as part of a selling point suggested that after 25 years, 10 to 25 years, there was going to be a significant profit to be made if they followed the chain of events on that paper. And then to hear numerous founding board members and numerous elected officials and those in between, they say the conference center was built without the expectation of whatever was written on that paper to be true, that they knew that they were investing in their community to see a brighter future economically for the entire community, and that's why it was put there. That they knew that some of the paperwork that was handed to them was misrepresented or misleading, it was fluffed, and that they built it knowing that they were leveraging future tax dollars to help pay for that building.
Okay, so when did you take over management of the center?
I started in August of 2015, and I started managing in December of 2015. And I was an interim manager for 6 months, probationary period, and then after that 6 months, I've been there ever since.
Okay, so it's about 4 years?
Yeah.
About 4 years. Well, I remember back when you first, I guess it was when you were first in the managing position, because I came over there as a news reporter to a lunch, and you were making a report
right
on some situations of why things are the way they were. At that point, I understood that it was expected to lose X amount of dollars every year.
Correct.
The county, the city, both cities and the county understand, because both cities and the county are involved in this.
Yes. They
understand that it's going to lose X amount of dollars, and X amount of dollars is okay by whoever decides that, because of the impact, economic impact it makes on the community.
Right. And the debate that I hear lately is how much should that how much should that investment from the city and the county be to fund the center? There's a large variance on whether or not people think it should cost the low amount of $50,000 up to $300,000. There's a large debate on, what amount is enough or what amount is too much. So everyone sitting at the table acknowledged that there is going to have to be money from all entities, but what is the number that we're comfortable giving?
One of the things that interests me is the price disparity.
Right.
There's been a long time over there when somebody goes over there and pays one price for something, somebody else goes and gets another price. The school gets a price, a nonprofit gets a price, and because the price is not the right price, we're losing a bunch of money, right?
It depends on if you feel it is a loss. If it is a private payer, they should all pay the same price. That covers the cost of operations and food and everything that
plus a profit.
Right, plus a profit. Everything that involves their event. But if it's a nonprofit or a school, there's a debate, or an industry like an industrial board, there's a debate on whether or not their economic impact or the impact that having our school children have, whether they should pay full price or if we're taking from the schools in order to let them have an event there when we're a public building when we're already open. So there is definitely no debate that all of those discounts and favors that were done in the past, those were definitely eliminated. But the debate now is, should our school systems, should our industries, industrial board chambers be able to use the building at a discount because that's what the public building was originally founded on. And the other part of it is that, everyone considers the conference center a loss. And that's not the verbiage that I think that it should be. It is an investment in your community that has a measurable return on investment every quarter. So it is not an immediate investment, but every quarter and every year when the state gives out their reports and sales tax dollars come in every quarter, there's a profound amount of money that we can measurably say the conference center generated that money, and without it being there or without those people coming to town, that money would not not be there. So I prefer to stop calling it a loss and say that we are investing in our own community for the growth of our community for the future.
More news is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington recently interviewed Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell, who has served as an interim city administrator for the last 4 months and has now returned to his regular job.
Our guest today is Chief Paul Blackwell. We know him primarily as the Chief of Police, which he has been for quite a few years. Done a good job at that. But we've also experienced him the last few months as an interim city administrator after Jody Baltz decided to retire, and the mayor appointed chief to sit in for probably 3 or 4 months while the city engaged in a search for a permanent city administrator. So that's what happened, and we're glad to see you on board, and you're probably beginning to look forward to another switch. How's it gone? How's it gone for you as a city administrator?
It's a new adventure, a new journey, and really I've enjoyed it. I've learned quite a bit about the city government that I didn't know, and most people would not even get exposed to unless they were in this type of position. You know, it's been a great learning experience, and I believe what I've learned when I go back to the chief duties, I'll be able to use that as well to better serve the community. So it's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been a learning experience. I've met people in a different arena from what I normally deal with on the police side.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've widened my relationships with the community. You know, in the police side, I deal with a lot of people in the community, not just because, you know, police, but the activities that we have. But as a city administrator, I'm getting to meet another group as well. So that's probably the greatest thing I'm taking away from this is the increased relationships that I build that I'll be able to fall back on when I go back to being the chief.
That's probably inside and outside government both.
It is.
Yeah,
it's just a wide spectrum of people because of what you're dealing with as a city administrator.
Yeah, you got 7 or 8 departments, I guess.
Right,
that,
and every one of them, you deal with someone different in the community.
Yeah. So, come I think September the 10th, you're going to be police chief full time again.
I changed my clothes. Then I'll hang up the suit and ties and coats and go back to my uniform.
I see.
You know, and go back to another journey, another chapter in my service to the community. So I've had a lot of people ask me, one, just as when you opened up, that you know, people ask me, do I refer to you as Chief, Mr. Blackwell, or what? And I said, just call me Paul. I mean, I'm the same person. I just got a different set of clothes on and some different responsibilities now. But it is kind of humorous sometimes to see people, you know, how do I refer to you? You know, and it's like, just, I'm the same person.
Who is our new city administrator?
It's going to be Mrs. Jennifer Moody. She's currently, or has been, the assistant city administrator in Murfreesboro, and she has prior experience as an assistant city administrator in Columbia. So she'll be coming to us with some experience. Obviously, what she won't have coming here is the contacts and the relationships. And one of my key duties in the transition will be to introduce her to people that she needs to know, you know, and to get her up to speed.
There'll be a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, right? And so I know I can't complete that task. She's going to have to learn some of that on her own through some of the community events.
And it is planned that they will move to Tullahoma.
Right. I believe her employment agreement gave her 6 months to relocate to Tullahoma.
Okay. And then you go back to being chief full time.
I will. I'll go back to being the chief, and I've never totally relinquished it. And as you said, by the time Mrs. Moody comes on board, I'll have been in the city administrator position for over 4 months. So during that 4 months, I haven't just severed my ties with the police department. I've kept my hands in it.
Oh.
You know, there's meetings I still had to go to. There's reports that had to be completed. You know, there was no way that I could have just said, I'm out the door, it's yours.
It's kind of interesting. Has your experience as the city administrator, has that given a little different flavor to going back to the chief's job?
From the standpoint of understanding what the city administrator has to deal with, of course, as the chief of police, when people come in with issues, it's usually just police related. And, you know, that's pretty simple. That's what I've done for 36 years, police stuff. But in the city administrator position, someone walks through the door, it could be any number of items. We have 9 different departments in the city with 9 different department heads, so that means the potential for 9 different issues at any given day. So it does broaden your perspective.
Sometimes all in the same day?
Sometimes all in the same day. So, you know, I can go back to the police department where I get maybe 1 complaint a month as opposed to some of the complaints I deal with as a city administrator.
We'll be right back in a moment.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Auto Rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We are here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a beagle mix named Blaine. He is approximately 2 years old and entered the shelter as a stray. Blaine is up to date on his vaccinations, heartworm negative, and on flea meds. He is great with other dogs and children. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for more information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, call Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society's featured pet this week is Dimple. He's a bull terrier mix looking for a forever home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252, Manchester 37349, and their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1931 at 97 degrees. Record low was in 1981 at 40 degrees. The average high on this day is 81 and the average low is 59. Mostly clear weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 72. 40% chance of storms in the forecast for Friday with a high of 87 and a low of 71. That chance of storms moves up to 60% on Saturday with a high of 83 and a low of 71. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on News Leader 6 wishes you and your families a beautiful weekend. Thank you.